everyone, and thanks for joining us for the AWS reInvent 2017 Know Before You Go. We are super excited that reInvent 2017 is almost here, and we hope you find this webinar useful both to continue to make your plans in advance for reInvent, but also to help you get an idea of what to expect while you're there on site in Las Vegas. So a couple of things before I get started. There are a few things that I'm going to mention quite frequently during this presentation that will help you prepare. The first is the reInvent website. So there is a ton of information there that will help you both figure out which sessions you want to attend and what learning you want to focus on. It will also help you get to know our campus. All of the shuttle routes and walking times that I reference will be viewable on our campus page. So there's a ton of resources there to make sure that you check out. The other thing that I wanted to say is that our mobile app is now available in both the Apple App Store and the Android Store. But I wanted to point out that there will be a big update before we get on site. It will allow you to play our super popular mobile app game, and there will be other critical updates. So I encourage you to download the mobile app now, but make sure that before you get on site, when you see that there's an update, to make sure you update the app to get the most up-to-date version. Okay, so before we go on, I'm going to share a quick video, some tips and tricks from the reInvent team to help you survive the week in Las Vegas.
Okay, here's how you survive at reInvent. You drink a lot of water.
Tons of water.
Drink lots and lots and lots of water.
Water, make sure you hydrate.
Drink a lot of water and bring your chapstick.
Chapstick. Chapstick?
Chapstick.
Chapstick.
Always have chapstick.
Chapstick and water for sure. Sleep when you can, because that comes not very much during the week of reInvent.
I bring a different pair of shoes for each day so that my feet don't hurt.
You need really comfortable shoes.
Your tennis shoes.
Wearing different shoes every day.
Gel pads in your shoes.
Like an IV drip of coffee.
And I get a humidifier in my hotel room.
Get a humidifier for your room.
And a lot of energy and good vibes.
And hip-hop dance moves.
Tennis shoes.
Wearing different shoes every day.
Gel pads in your shoes.
Like an
Great. Well, hopefully those tips and tricks from our team. I think the funniest part about that whole thing is that none of us saw each other film that video.
And I get a humidifier in my hotel room.
Get a humidifier for your room.
And a lot of energy.
Lots of water, lots of chapstick, and comfortable shoes. Okay, so this year, even for those who have been to reInvent in previous years, there is a big difference in our reInvent campus. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time talking about how we've basically taken over Las Vegas for that week, and we've grown the reInvent campus to bring you even more content this year. So we've got an expanded campus starting at the Venetian Palazzo. This has been our home base since year one of reInvent. It's where we started. We've got a ton of content still happening at the reInvent, at the Venetian, but we've definitely expanded beyond that. The first expansion is the Link parking lot. So for those of you who were at reInvent last year, this is where we had the party. This year, in addition to the party, we've also got a ton of hackathons happening out there, as well as some other fun stuff for you to do during the week. We've got the Encore, which is our bookable meeting space. So that is where you may have meetings on your calendar scheduled by maybe a partner or your sales team. It's also a space if you are looking to host a meeting at reInvent and you were going to go out and rent a room. Maybe your team is in one location in Las Vegas for maybe the one and only time that happens this year. You can rent some space at the Encore and have your team meeting. Then over at the Mirage, we've got training and certification happening. Down at Aria, we've got a ton of fun content, and also at the MGM Grand. So you can see we've really expanded the campus, and that of course means we need to change a little bit of how we move around at reInvent. So this year, we've got the campus shuttle system that will get you between all of the reInvent venues. So you can take the North Campus route, which will take you between the Venetian, Encore, and Mirage, and the South Campus route, which will take you from the Venetian, Aria, and MGM. The Venetian is the hub. So basically, if you can get yourself to the Venetian on one of these routes, you can get anywhere on the campus. And then we've also got the Bellagio routes, which will take you from the Bellagio to the Venetian or the MGM. So for those of you staying at that hotel, there's no actual content at the Bellagio. And you can see on this slide the locations at each venue where you can catch those shuttles. Again, this information is on our reInvent page on our campus page, and you can see the routes here. The one thing I will point out here is that you do need to allow yourself at least 30 minutes travel time between venues in order to make sure that you have enough time both to walk to the shuttle stop, take the shuttle, and then walk to your next session. And speaking of walking, we do also have walking time recommendations for getting around. I know for me personally, I like to mix it up. Probably in the morning when I'm fresh, got my comfy shoes on, I'm more likely to take that few minutes and walk between venues. So any of the green times listed here are times that it's probably shorter to walk between the venues than to take the campus shuttle. Those yellow medium walk times are probably roughly the same. So again, that's really up to you. Did you want to stretch your legs, take a walk? Or maybe it's been a long day and you'd rather take the shuttle. And then the red times we really don't recommend. It does sometimes in Vegas feel like, well, hey, I can see the Venetian from here, but sometimes it's a lot longer than it may look. And so these red times are not recommended times. We would recommend that you would take the shuttle in those instances. Again, don't feel like you need to memorize this chart, but it is available on our campus page on the reInvent site. When did the shuttles run? So the shuttles are running continuously during these hours. So basically during the hours that conference activities are happening. So that starts on Sunday, November 26th at noon and runs till Friday, December 1st at 3 p.m. There are more shuttles running during keynote times and other peak hours where we expect a lot of people to be riding the shuttle. And one pro tip, you will need your conference badge to ride the shuttles. So what I would recommend is, going back to this walking times slide, you walk to the closest venue to you to get your badge. So I will be sharing exactly all of the venues that have registration desks in a moment. You can walk to the registration desk, get your badge, and then you can feel free to move about the campus on the shuttle system. Okay, so let's go through some highlights by day, and then we'll also talk about some things happening by venue. So by day, on Sunday, we do expect a lot of you to arrive. So starting at 1 p.m. on Sunday, we have registration open. Also on Sunday, we have our famous Harley ride. So this used to happen at the end of the week. We've moved the Harley ride to Sunday, give you guys a chance to get out, explore the countryside surrounding Las Vegas on your Harley, and make it back in time for your breakout sessions the next day. Also on Sunday, we have Midnight Madness. Midnight Madness is basically your welcome to reInvent pep rally. It starts at 10:30 on Sunday night. It's open to the first 3,500 attendees only. It's got a ton of stuff happening. We'll have swag. We'll have AWS execs talking about their behind the scenes take. We've got a celebrity guest DJ who's going to be there. There's going to be dancing. There's going to be music. It's going to be super fun. Again, think of it as that college basketball pep rally, your first taste of reInvent for those of you so excited to join in. Then Monday morning, we've got registration opening at 6 a.m. so you can get your badge right away. And then breakout sessions start at 10 a.m. across the campus. We've got Industry Day at the Venetian, boot camps and certifications kick off at the Mirage, hands-on labs at the Venetian. We've got the hackathon for nonprofits, the NGO hackathon, which is on Monday, the robocall rally, which is a hackathon happening at the Aria. We've got the Quad at ARIA opening, and then Global Partner Summit begins at the MGM. Tuesday morning kicks off bright and early with the reInvent 4K for charity at the Mirage. If you haven't yet signed up for the 4K, it's not too late. We had a ton of runners out there last year. It was super fun. Lots of people braved the cold and got a good exercise run in before content got going that day. To sign up, you can log back into your account and register for the 4K. Also on Tuesday, the Expo opens at the Venetian, as well as the Park at the Link Lot. So in addition to our hackathon program happening out at the Link Lot, we've also got a ton of fun activities that I'll go over later, but I'd encourage you to check out both the Venetian and the Park. We've got the Global Partner Summit continuing over at the MGM. And then again, more breakouts, more boot camps and certifications, hands-on labs at the Venetian. We've got some hackathons happening, Security Jam and Game Day. And then Tuesday evening, we've got the welcome reception. That happens at both the Venetian Expo and at the Quad at ARIA. And then Tuesday evening, we have Tuesday Night Live with Peter DeSantis. Peter is a longtime Amazon employee, and he's going to give a great presentation Tuesday evening. On Wednesday, we've got the spinning challenge happening at the Mirage. We've got 2 morning classes that are full, but we do have a 5 p.m. spinning challenge happening over there. So if you are a SoulCycle enthusiast, we've got a very similar style ride happening at the Mirage on Wednesday. Then we've got Andy Jassy's keynote happening at the Venetian. And then again, more breakouts, more boot camps and certification exams happening. We've got the Analytics Jam happening out at the Link Lot at the Park. And we've got the Alexa Smart Cities Hackathon. Then we've also got the pub crawl Wednesday evening that takes place at both the MGM and the Venetian. On Thursday morning, if you still are dying to keep up your fitness program and want to stay fit while at reInvent, or maybe just challenge yourself, we've got the fitness boot camp, so you can burpee and push up and do all sorts of fun boot camp activities happening at the Mirage. You can sign up by logging back into your account and paying for that boot camp. Then on Thursday morning, we've also got Werner Vogel's keynote happening at the Grand Garden Arena. And then, as I said before, more breakout sessions, more boot camps and certification exams. We've also got the All-In Jam and the Alexa Hack Your Office. We've got Replay Party happening on Thursday evening. So that's always a highlight of the week, so don't miss it. And on Friday, more breakout sessions happen, as well as certification exams. So don't forget, Friday does have some great content with some great speakers. And oftentimes, those sessions are just as full as any session happening throughout the week. So to go over a little bit, those conference services by venue, as you can see, at ARIA, MGM, the Venetian, and the Mirage, you can get registered, you can go to the help desk, the mobile app support desk, you can get your swag, and you can have meals. So that is happening at these venues. The meals at the Mirage are for those boot camp attendees only, though. So if you are over there at the Mirage taking a boot camp, you can get your meal over there. Then we've got mother's rooms and reflection rooms at the various properties, as well as transportation to the other venues. Conference meals, these are on the reInvent website, but the pro tip that I would say about conference meals this year, think about where you're spending your morning or your afternoon in terms of the breakout sessions that you're going to, and really try to maximize your day by planning to have your meals at those venues. So if you're headed over to Mirage to have a boot camp, have your lunch there. If you're headed over to ARIA to learn about AI, have your lunch or your breakfast at ARIA. So really think about your meals strategically. These again are listed on our website, but it's a good idea to really plan out your day, both in terms of the breakout sessions that you're going to, but also in terms of where you're going to eat your meals. And then some other key activities happening by venue. So as I mentioned, we've got the RoboCar Rally happening at ARIA. We've got EBCs and office hours. So EBCs are our executive briefing center. Those meetings may be scheduled by your sales reps. So if you have one of those meetings, you probably already have it on your calendar or are working with your salesperson to get those on your calendar. Same with office hours. Those are informal meetings with AWS experts that are scheduled via your sales rep. So again, if you have a sales rep, work with that person to schedule those meetings. Also at ARIA, we've got the Quad. The Quad is where you can find a ton of fun sponsors who are there and have some great solutions, especially related to those topics that we're covering at ARIA. We've got the Builders Fair. The Builders Fair is one of my most favorite activities. It's really a chance for people who have that sort of build it myself in my garage spirit to show off their creations to other AWS enthusiasts. We've also got a certification lounge for those of you who are certified or about to get certified. Once you get your certification complete, you can join us at the certification lounge. We've got some hands-on Lego activities happening, as well as some sponsor meeting rooms, and the welcome reception also takes place at ARIA. At the MGM, we've got Werner Vogel's keynote happening. We've got the Global Partner Summit. The Pub Crawl and Tatanka are happening at the MGM this year. So we've got 2 locations for both of those. And again, EBCs and office hours. And if you do have those EBCs and office hours on your calendar, just take a moment to really pay attention to what venue those are happening in. So you can't just count on, as you may have in previous years, of thinking, oh, though I have an EBC, it's happening at the Venetian. We do have our EBC and office hour programs spread out around our campus. The Venetian hosts Andy Jassy's keynote. The Harley Ride kicks off from the Venetian. Midnight Madness, Industry Day, Tuesday Night Live with Peter DeSantis. Again, our second Pub Crawl and Tatanka location. We've got the Hackathon for Nonprofits happening here. We've got hands-on lab certification, and again, more EBCs and office hours. As I mentioned, at the Mirage, we've got certification exam and our paid boot camps, as well as our fitness activities. And then also at the Venetian, we have our expo. So at the expo, you can find the AWS Village, where you can talk to AWS product and service experts. If you have a specific question, that's a great place to go and get your question answered by that AWS expert. We've also got a ton of sponsor booths. I would recommend blocking out a good amount of time to go through, talk to the key partners that you have been meaning to talk to, pick up some swag, try the candy. There's always a ton of fun things, and our sponsors really go all out. So there are some amazing booths with some fun things, as well as some really great AWS content that are in those booths. We've got content theaters and demo theaters and lounges. So lots of places to continue your learning in the expo, as well as hang out. If you've got a question, we've got the Expo information desk. And then the Expo also hosts our welcome reception, which is on Tuesday evening. It's always super popular, always packed in. It's super fun. So check out the welcome reception on Tuesday evening. Then out at the park, we've got our hackathon program that I've mentioned before. We've also got our Power Play tent. So if you're looking for a place to disconnect from reInvent for an hour, check your email, maybe take a conference call, we've got our Power Play tent. You can charge up, you can connect. We've got some speaker meet and greets happening out there. Also, the giant Alexas are out in the Power Play tent, where you can get some fun prizes. You could also take a swing in our MLB batting cage. Some fun things happening out at the park as well, including our broom ball tournament, which happens on Tuesday during the welcome reception. And as I mentioned, our replay party happens out there. As I said before, Encore has bookable meeting space. So that's for those of you who may be looking for that last minute meeting and are looking for a space to book, you can find that information on our reInvent website. So fun at reInvent, we take fun just as seriously as we take content. There are a ton of things to do. As I mentioned, our Harley Ride, Midnight Madness. We've got a We Power Tech Inclusion Happy Hour. So go to our diversity page on our reInvent site. You can check that out. The welcome reception, the expo, the quad, our broomball tournament. Tatanka. Let me spend a minute here and talk about Tatanka this year. So for those of you who don't know what Tatanka is our chicken wing eating challenge. So we have a group of people here at Amazon who have been doing this for years, and we have brought that quirkiness to reInvent. This is a new year, though, for Tatanka. This year, we've got 2 dueling venues. So we've got TAP at the MGM, and we've got Legacy at Venetian, and we will be live streaming between the 2 venues in order to crown the ultimate Tatanka champion. We are also going for a Guinness Book of World Record championship here. So if you think you might be the Tatanka champion in the making this year, log back into your account. You can reserve a seat in either the Tatanka happening at the MGM or the Tatanka happening at Venetian, and you can see how many wings you can eat. We've got the pub crawl. So the pub crawl is expanded this year. We've got 2 venues, so the MGM and the Venetian, double the opportunity to talk to partners, catch up with your coworkers. My recommendation is if you're over at the MGM that afternoon, stay and go to the pub crawl there. Or, by the way, if you've been to reInvent many years and maybe you're kind of like, hey, what's happening outside of the Venetian? Let me check out some new places. Head over to the MGM. They've got a lot of fun, cool venues. And then, of course, the replay party happens on Thursday. This is a chance for you to pretend like you're a kid again for 4 hours. So there are a ton of fun things to do. We will be announcing our replay performer during Vernon Vogel's keynote. So stay tuned for that. And that replay is always a highlight of the week. Okay, so now I'm going to turn it over to Jill Fagan, my partner in crime here for today's webinar. She's going to talk to you about our reInvent content.
Awesome, thanks. Thank you, Annie. All right, I am always really excited to talk about reInvent content. It's my favorite thing. So let's dive in. So first we'll cover what you can find in terms of content at every venue. And here we go. All right, so in the ARIA, you can find tracks that cover Alexa, analytics and big data, containers, IoT, artificial intelligence and machine learning, which is one track, and serverless. Then at the MGM, you can find business apps, enterprise, migration and hybrid, security, identity and compliance, and then the Windows track. Then in the Venetian, on Monday only, we have our industry day. So if you are particularly interested in diving deep on AWS services by industry, whether that's financial services, telecommunications, media and entertainment, we have about 12 industry day tracks total, and you can find all that information in the session catalog. Monday is a great day to be at the Venetian at reInvent because we give you that opportunity. Then the rest of the week, you can find sessions in the tracks architecture, AWS Marketplace and Service Catalog, compute, content delivery, databases, DevOps, mobile networking storage, and artificial intelligence and machine learning. So as you can see, we actually have the AI and ML tracks span two different venues. So just be sure to pay attention when you are reserving sessions in that track to make sure you know which venue you're at. But that's the only track we do that for. And then the Mirage is kind of our center of gravity for everything training and certification, boot camps, certifications, and all that fun stuff. As a reminder about boot camps, they happen Monday through Thursday, and they run for a half a day from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. or 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And you can sign up for boot camps by logging back into your reInvent account and going to the Reg portal. You cannot sign up for a boot camp via reserved seating in the session catalog. You can see them in there, but you won't be able to reserve them. All right, so what kind of content can you find at reInvent this year? So we've added some new stuff, which we're really excited about. First of all, we have our traditional 60-minute breakout sessions, lecture format with a short time for Q&A at the end of the presentation. So that's what everybody is used to. We try to dive as deep as possible as we can in that 60 minutes to give you as much information as we can. Then we also have workshops. We've expanded our workshop program from last year. Last year we had about 35, and I think this year we have more like 135 workshops, backed by very popular demand. So there's a short lecture at the beginning of a workshop, and then it's followed by group work and problem solving. The room is set up there's tables, and you sit in a group. Every table has a flip chart, and you have the opportunity to really work through some problems in a hands-on fashion. And not only are you learning from us, but you're learning from each other as well. Workshops are 2.5 hours, and in addition to the speaker, we also have proctors that walk around the room and help solve problems, answer questions, and that kind of thing. Then new this year, to the general breakout content, is our Chalk Talks. Chalk Talks are 60 minutes long. There is a speaker who will kind of kick things off with a short 10 to 15 minute lecture. And then it's really open format Q&A. We'll give you the opportunity to dive into what's interesting with you in a smaller group setting with our AWS experts. Chalk Talks only have about 50 to 60 people in each of them. And then in addition to the speaker, we've also got another technical person in the room who's a solutions architect or member of the service team, and they're there to help diagram things on the whiteboard and really work through problems and dive into them. So that's a really very interactive opportunity. And then last is another new type of content we are trying this year, calling them our skill sessions. So these skill sessions are discussion format with one AWS expert and then up to 3 customers. So you and 2 other people are sitting across the table from an AWS expert. You have your laptop and you're literally just like learning how to do something right there, hands-on on your laptop, learning how to build a chat bot or an Alexa skill or something cool like that. Now, skill sessions are only in the ARIA, and they cover the tracks that we cover in the ARIA. And as a reminder, that's Alexa, IoT, analytics and big data, containers, artificial intelligence and machine learning, and serverless. So those are the tracks that the skill sessions will cover. Now, you can find skill sessions in the session catalog, but you can't reserve a seat in them. Just due to kind of the format, you will have to walk up and sign up for a session when you're at the ARIA. The skill sessions are in Bluethorn 4 and Bluethorn 9, and you can just walk in and sign up. But be sure to explore the session catalog to get some more information on them, on the individual sessions. So those are our content types. And then we have some other content we wanted to highlight for everybody, just to kind of, just to highlight it, to repeat myself. So first of all, we have our Deep Learning Summit, and that's Thursday, November 30th from 1 to 5 at the Venetian. And it's a series of lightning talks with some of the major leaders in deep learning. So that'll be very exciting. Also wanted to highlight our State of the Union sessions. There are 11 State of the Union sessions across the entire campus over the week, and these sessions are really cool to attend because they're delivered by our senior leaders and execs of these services. So it's really your opportunity to hear directly from the people leading up these services on what we've done this year, what we're hoping to accomplish in the future, all that kind of stuff. They're very cool. Just be sure to find them in the session catalog and sign up. Also, we've got some specific Alexa activities. Be sure to check out our giant Echo stations. They're at the ARIA ARIA MGM in the park. There's the 2 Alexa hackathons, Alexa Hack Your Office and Alexa Smart Cities. And then there's the Alexa State of the Science, which is on Tuesday, which is kind of again, a State of the Union format. And then there's also a formal Alexa State of the Union on Wednesday. And then there's also an Alexa speaker meet and greet. And you can find the details on that in the session catalog as well. But that'll be your opportunity to go in, meet up with the Alexa speakers in the park and kind of quiz them on anything Alexa that you are interested in. And then just to highlight our hackathons again, we have a very robust hackathon program this year. So our RoboCar Rally on Monday, which is sold out. Then we have the hackathon for nonprofits, the security jam, the analytics jam, the all-in jam, Game Day, Alexa Hack Your Office, and Alexa Smart Cities. So be sure to check those out. There's a lot of cool stuff happening. And then last but not least, just want to highlight a special Chalk Talk series that we're doing this year, presented by our Senior VP of Computing, Charlie Bell, and his technical team. So Charlie's Chalk Talk will be Wednesday morning in the ARIA, and then Charlie's technical team will be presenting their own Chalk Talks on Wednesday afternoon in the MGM. So be sure to check those out. Going to be very cool. And again, a small group setting, and some access to some of our execs, which will be very informative. All right, and then just some key activities on training and certification, just to make sure we're highlighting everything. Again, hands-on labs, learn at your own pace with step-by-step scenarios in a live practice environment. There's over 100 topics. Hands-on labs are at the Venetian. Again, you can't reserve a seat in a hands-on lab. You just walk in and sign up, but you can find the information on them in the session catalog. Then we have boot camps, which again are the in-depth training from AWS experts. Boot camps are an additional cost to your conference pass, and you register for them via the Reg portal. And then of course our AWS certification, where you can become AWS certified in lots of things, and that information is also in the session catalog. Then we also want to highlight our Global Partner Summit. This year, for the first year, the Global Partner Summit is open to all customers. And what you can expect are multiple tracks, technical sessions, Chalk Talks. Actually, Chalk Talks originated with the Global Partner Summit, and they were so awesome that we took that and plugged it into the rest of the conference. And you can also see the Global Partner Keynote, which is emceed by Terry Weiss. You can reserve seats in any Global Partner Summit session. It's all in the session catalog. So just filter by Global Partner Summit and you can find it. And then the agenda, breakouts on Monday from 3:15 to 6:30, and then the welcome reception from 6 to 8. And then Tuesday is the keynote from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. And then more breakouts, workshops, and Chalk Talks from 11:30 to 6:30 on Tuesday. And then I'm going to pass it back to Annie to talk about the additional partner opportunities.
In addition to the content that Jill just mentioned, you can also stop by the APN Partner Kiosk in the Venetian Expo Hall or at the Global Partner Summit itself over at MGM, and you can learn how you can integrate your solution with AWS, leverage the APN network, and more opportunities. You can also visit the APN Partner Marketing Lounge, where you can talk about the partner marketing team and learn about more opportunities you can be co-marketing with APN, with the APN network partners. You can schedule a meeting or you can stop by. And then there's also an APN Recharge Lounge in the Venetian Expo Hall. Before we move off of content, I wanted to mention one final thing there, and that is our keynotes. So we do have keynotes happening on Wednesday morning with Andy Jassy, on Thursday morning with Werner Vogels. So Andy's happens at the Venetian in Keynote Hall A, and Werner's happens at the MGM Grand Garden Arena. We would love to see you in person at each of these keynotes, but seating is first come, first serve. So for those of you who miss your alarm or simply want to arrive a little later, we will have overflow seating at the various venues. So at the ARIA, at the Venetian, and the MGM. So you can just follow the digital signage to those overflow locations and not miss any of the keynote. Okay, so the next topic before I move into Q&A is safety and security. We just want to cover this and make sure that everyone knows that in addition to, in an event of an emergency, dialing 911 in the US, we also will have our Amazon security team on site able to answer questions that you may have regarding security at the event. So whether that's you're not sure about something, or someone asked you a question and you weren't sure, or maybe you just noticed someone doing something and you found it a little bit suspicious or you weren't sure, feel free to reach out to this number. You'll be able to speak directly with an Amazon security person. Those folks will be manning the hotline starting on Sunday and then running till 3 p.m. on Friday. Obviously, the rules that we all sort of go by are, if you see something, say something. And then, of course, if you're asked by event staff or security to show your conference credentials, please make sure to have those with you at all times when you're attending a reInvent activity, whether that's going to a meal or going to replay. Always make sure that you have your credentials on. And if asked to follow specific directions, please do so. You're always welcome to stop by the help desk and talk to us about it. But please make sure that you are following the directions of our security teams. Okay, so I am going to take some Q&A here. So we're going to take a brief pause, and then we'll come back with some live questions.
Awesome. Thanks to Jill and both Jill and Annie for that great presentation. As mentioned, excuse me, we'll be transitioning over to the live Q&A portion. Take a second to give us some feedback on the polls you see on your screen, on how you think today's session went. And again, we'll be back in about 30 seconds.